At thehockeysite.com, it's about what happens in the locker room, thinking about the game. It's about planning and preparation, and about training and improving those skills, looking at it from different angles. But of course, it's also about teaching them to score and win. Thehockeysite.com. Share the knowledge.
As you join us here at the Masters World Cup of Hockey, we're watching the over 45 game between France and England. There's the Pool B clash in the over 45 category. A tight affair expected as these two teams are near the top of the pool. As already England starting with a rapid start, trying to find a through ball on the build-up here. 2 dates so far. France winning all their pool games. And so on maximum points as England start like a house on fire, trying to drive into the D here. France with the full 9 points from their matches, having won all their games. Played the USA and beat them 5-1 as England drive to the top corner, trying to find a circle entry. The ball being flipped in, but it's just going over the baseline. France then also beating Malaysia 1-0 and then Zimbabwe 2-1. So 3 out of 3 for them. England, on the other hand, 2 wins and a draw as the first shot and deflection comes in. Great save on the line there. A lot of pressure being put in yet. As we see Thomas de Villiers just been pulled into action right early in the game, and the goals there for France. England is happy to move the ball backwards and forwards. Try and transfer across, like I was saying. England winning 2 and drawing 1. Drawing a game against South Africa. And South Africa currently tie with England for second in this pool. So this game, the points that come out of here will have a big influence on the outcome of this pool going to the playoff games as the ball goes across the circle again. France with everybody back. Getting a full defensive press in as the over gets thrown. Happy to be left by England. Harris sizing up the opportunity and saying, rather let this ball go. So like I said, top of the table clash. France winning this could put them well clear going into the playoff games. However, England might have something to say about that going into these playoff games. Nice tight pool. Everything to play for in this category. This game brought you from the Western Province Cricket Club. It's a sports club in Cape Town, South Africa. Another beautiful day in Cape Town as the ball gets threaded forward. Fantastic through ball, well received. Playing to the baseline, probably reflecting back on that. I think Chris Graham might be thinking he should have gone for himself there. Had a go at the goal instead of playing it out wide. As England having the first forays into the circle here. And now France having a long chase. A great run on the far side, trying to find the circle flip. Aerial skill is in the D. The ball gets popped out into a stick. Umpire classifying a bit of a stick hack there, but end-to-end stuff already. England having 2 opportunities on the one side, and then France hitting back straight away. Looked like Cordier was the one that made that run around the outside up there. As the game, as all these games, they start a bit frantic. The teams having played, it's day 5 of the tournament, having played a lot of hockey already, so they're well worn in, maybe a little bit tired, but Their basics and skill have come to the fore, and they should be settling down as Cooper running the ball on the right-hand side. A lot of pressure being applied by Barber Carrera, just making sure he doesn't get too far on the field. At this level of hockey over 45, you see the midfield tightly contested affair. Not many players being able to get free that easily. As again, England trying to find the through ball towards the D, but not getting very far as France come away with the ball and knocking the ball clear with a deflection. That's France off for the overhead. It's actually going to land on their laps. Nice, good take. A back off happening there. We've got Robert Carrera just moving the ball across the field. Cordelier making the ball go wide. They're trying to find a circle on the outside. A very good circle. A good receive for the ball coming forward. Cordelier again for the flick. Entry. Coming off an England stick and going for a long corner, but that was a good down the left attack with a quick switch to the right. Trying to find and probe for the gaps to have the circle entry and get some value for money as France now have a long corner on the 22. Firing the ball towards a T-point, but England wary of that and coming away, looking on the field. The ball being thrown very long. Daniel Reid, I think it was. Now chance for the shot. Can he pull the trigger? Pulls the trigger and he hits it bottom right. Looked like Chris Graham. Yes, Chris Graham. A really good build-up player. Coming away from their own D, throwing the ball long down the field. And I think if you look back on that, the key pass there was Bobby Bansal running far on the wide. They threw it to him. He didn't try and go for goal. He simply just drew some defenders off their line. And then Bansal passing back. Chris Graham finishing with a cracking shot on the right-hand side. As England take a 1-love lead here, and they're very happy with their first foray into this game. As again, Turnbull driving forward there, putting France back in their corner. Don't want to let them come out of this area because the running play, a good tackle there on the foot. Advantage being played, but Barber Carrera just a little backhand onto the foot and again the reset. There's France now. With very throwing the ball forward again. A lot of overheads coming out the back here. England will have to make sure they get underneath a lot of these little in-out ball play happening. It's always good to see that kind of hockey where people are looking for each other. Harris looking for the overhead and deciding to go for the safe option. Trough ball being set up. Nice clean pass across the width of the field. These passes need pace on them to create the gaps. But more importantly, patience and skill not to lose the ball. Harris, nobody in front to pass through. No 45 option. Throws it into the space. A little bit hopeful. But it does put the ball high in the field. So not finding a player for England, but definitely putting the ball in a position where England can put pressure on the ball carrier and maybe do a turnover in the half as Turnbull comes over the ball. Into play. And now they've been thrown forward. A turn on the circle. They just couldn't link up. Went for the baseline option with a turning skill. Just couldn't find an option as France now. A little bit guilty of turning and going down the middle every single time. We saw Cordelier just receiving, turning straight into his man. Maybe want to keep the ball away from the English defenders in the early parts of this game. Let them chase a bit of fresh air. As we have a ball out to the right, down the line. Good in-out skill. He's got around his man. This is going to be interesting. Circle entry. Tackle comes in. Van der Kloot on the outside there. Neat little in-out skill, circling his man. Very good skill for anybody watching hockey to learn. As the ball gets crossed. Ball gets crossed and umpire saying it was a little lifted, dangerous. Some leagues in the world, they let those balls go at that height, but people crossing the circle these days do give it a bit of air to make the defender's life difficult. Barber Carrera just tapping in the far post. He'll have been happy that it didn't land in his lap. For that finish as England hang on to their 1-0 lead. England happy to play into the fetcher and then play back again. moving the ball up and down the lines as the nice big hit comes in there. It's going to be a good touch. This is going to be a great touch for them as he goes around. That was so unlucky because Chris Graham thought he had got around Duvalier, and Duvalier said, no, I've got this covered, and a fantastic one-on-one save there. Chris Graham, the goal scorer from early on. A little bit upset that he couldn't get the tally up a little bit higher. As the ball again gets fired across. England on the edge, just looking for some options, trying to fire it in. Still got it. Going for the shot, but I think took a little too long on the shot there. Was facing the wrong way. Had his body in the wrong position. Had to pull the trigger and turn at the same time. And I suppose William Nurse, being a defender, his more natural play is to be conservative and have to go back to the forward clinic for that to get some shots gained. Thought for a second there that William Nurse would pull out the drag flick from 12 the circle there, but not to be. As France reset in their back corner, trying to get the long ball up, but only hit as far as England. And again, Cordelier just coming over the ball, making the play happen all over the place. Running to fetch for the regather. Lots of energy going, yeah, but just not getting control of the ball to keep it. England happy just to passively wait to see what's going to happen, yeah. Not doing too much chasing initially. Save the energy. Bobby Banzel being left up front to do all the work by himself. As, again, France come firing down the sideline. Nurse with the mistrap. Unfortunately, France now got a circle entry. And going for the shot. The ball was loose. Van der Klue had the ball popping through, took a swing at it. It was a loose ball. He didn't have the ball on his stick, so two sticks collided. Both teams feeling like they should have got something from that. The net effect is a 16. Umpire just asking everybody to slow down so they can regain control of the game. As the Nurse is looking now to get the ball moving. Cooper and Nurse just keeping the ball alive on the side, keeping the game small and short. Overhead coming, but fantastically intercepted. Lebre just picking that out there, and everybody playing so well to the new overhead rules. Ball being knocked forward again. This time we got David Cohen on the edge there. He made a great lead out wide to get the pickup. And then Cohen trying to link up with Van der Klue, but Van der Klue just made the loop around on the ball. Knocked an English stick, but rolled over harmlessly as umpires called him back for the stick clack. As Lebre makes the ball live. He'll try and move it 5 yards before entering the circle. I don't think that was 5 yards, but the umpire's not too worried about it because the ball goes over the baseline and England get to reset with a 16. So again, England starting this game with an early goal. Chris Graham scoring a cracking bottom corner shot. Minutes later, Chris Graham having a one-on-one with the keeper, Duvalier, and just unfortunately not picking up as France picking up the midfield ball, yeah. A little bit scrappy, but they're coming away with it. As is often the case, when the turnover happens, the person who knacks the turnover trying to do too much of the ball initially instead of just offloading and moving on. Have a double turnover in soon. Nice patient play in the midfield here. England happy to keep the ball away. Just trying to move it sideways. Keep the French chasing the ball. Once again, a good turn in the midfield there by Dowdle. Dowdle going forward. Reed's on the field now. Daniel Reed trying to make a corner run from the far side there, but fantastically tackled. Really good defensive work there. While Reed was scanning, Bloch just stepped in. The captain said, no, don't take you off the ball, mates, and he took it right off him. Fantastic, the patient defense, waiting for the time to tackle and then stepping and making it happen. Sebastian Lebre in the midfield here, trying to find the ball out wide. That's France now, trying to get some possession and hold the ball for a while. Long ball across to Arnaud Sendlers. Sendley turning perfectly. Fantastic left half skill. Coming on the line. The French have got some space here. They can Lebre can just make it play happen. But Nurse getting the ball and then getting a whole lot of attention at the same time, and the umpire saying no, a little bit too much pressure there. Again, loose ball in the field. That could have been interesting. Ball did pop loose, and Cohen looked like he was going to go on a run there, but the play being called back. Harris now playing some short game. Simple ball across the field, down to the fetches. Nice simple play in the midfield. Ball getting on the sideline, just arcing out, trying to find the midfield again. Don't want to get caught in the top corner. See Keith Land in the middle now, just fetching the ball, making decisions. Harris scanning. England just trying to pick the options, making it nice and safe. Don't have to go forward every time, just looking for the angles, a lot of running up front. Harris very patient, trying to find the gap, and there he does, found the long ball through. Chris Graham making a lead for him. Sorry, correction. Whaley making the run through. As France get the ball back. Again, the key thing here for France is they need some midfield players to post up and find the gaps, because they get the ball around the outside very nicely, but England quite happy for them to stay on the outside of the field. They can tackle them inside out. As Whaley throws a long overhead. Well picked up on the edge, and there's a turn happening. Yeah, this could be some space if you can just get the ball in. A little backhand flip skill. Unfortunately, Daniel Reid just couldn't find the ball through. He's kept the pressure on, yeah. But France happy to just be patient. And just a little bit loose on the head to stick block, I think. But umpire says that let it go. Ball popped loose in the circle. Umpire gives him the blow eventually. A lot of people calling for the stick block there. Fine line between the stick being on the ball and you playing the ball, or whether you put your stick off the ball over it. Building a bridge. And as you go up in the leagues, you'll see players get much better doing that again. Good overhead to the first. Cordelier, who plays it wide. Maybe a little bit ambitious in front of his chasing compatriot. And again, Cordelier really getting stuck in here. A fiery character in the midfield. Cordelier is going to get a little warning here from both players. Cordelier with the trying to get the rough tackle in there, disrupt it, and looked like Land who returned the favour by being a bit hodgy-bodgy. Captain Whaley just moving the ball around again. Sean Robinson, out wide to Harris. Ball down the line here to Cooper. Cooper crashing the ball forward, but no baseline runner there for the T-point. They've earned themselves a long corner for the deflection. We're still in the first quarter here. And a set move happening, ball running off into the gap. I think Land and the whole set play there did move the ball to the closed corner. They might have won the ball up there, but being in a tough position high up in the field as England get to reset. Like we said before, the outcome of this game is super important, top of the table clash. We're getting to that stage of the tournament now where the pool games matter. Not that they never matter, but the outcomes are important as teams get to realize where they are. As we end the first quarter, England 1-0 up, but a lot of hockey still to come in this match.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
There goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people that's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe and ready to host you.
You join us for the second quarter of this O45 match between France and England. England enjoying a 1-0 lead with a well-taken goal by Chris Graham. But this game's still wide open, going both ways. And like we said before, it's a top-of-the-table clash, and both teams need a result here to get a good playoff position going into the playoff matches. Turnbull setting up a player there, Chris Graham, just getting turned over in the midfield. A lot of attention being played by Cordelier, as England happy to set up the ball at the back. Nurse starts on the left half. Been throwing some long overheads down the line, but in this case, didn't throw it high enough, and umpire saying it's got to clear the heads of the people in front of you. Van der Klue, not the shortest player in the world, so you need to throw it with some interest if you want to clear his head. France threading the ball to the midfield. And a ball out wide. Really clever pass if they can just around the outside, looks like. Montecote on the far side. And Montecote being called back. You won't be too happy about that. The ball was all the way across, trying to get some advantage, and the umpire calling them back. Montecote just, and again the ball just catching a deflection on the way through. Reset, maybe guilty of just trying to plug the same channel they're in. Of course, every England defender is around there as the ball comes flying wide into Verrier. And Verrier going to throw the ball down the middle for a deflection. Just giving a little too much air. It's just, the ball was above waist height, so you could clear it was dangerous, but there was nobody in the way, so there was no danger to anybody. But in principle, the umpire saying it was lifted too high for a ball entering the circle. As Chris Graham being paid attention to there. Nicholas Bloch, the captain, all over him. Just putting the pressure on, making sure that he can't turn. Umpire saying there was a check there somewhere. England again, happy to hold the ball at the back. France holding off. Not stepping too high on the defenders from England. Nurse out wide. And Daniel Bell, the keeper, has been called to play there because of a mispass. Cooper just missing the ball back to Harris, but no harm done. If you look up on the field, every single England player is tightly marked by France. Man-to-man marking high up on the field. And the turnover happened in the midfield. Ball a bit loose. Some interesting skills there by Keith Land, who was doing some breakdancing skills on the field on the ground. As apologies, that might actually have been Dowdle, but anyway. France back in possession at the back. Verrier looking for options. The ball moving side to side quite nicely. What France have been doing very well is finding their midfield fetches. As that ball goes in there, a bit of pressure, but a little bit too much pressure. Agadio just holding the ball, and again the small overhead forward Cordelia is going to take this as far as he can. He's got options left and right. Short option back, but the through ball going to come now. Again, good setup and a little bit of a hack. There'll be a protest there. Barbet Carrera just saying, I received the ball and had a stick hack from behind, and the umpire agreed and saying it's in the 22. It was deliberate, and so it's awarded France their first penalty corner, and the first penalty corner of the match, in fact. Like I said, England 1-0 up in this game. But France now with their first short corner. Scanning the top, we've got something like Antoine Moreau on top for the drag flick. Cordier on the right castle, but this looks like it's going to go to the left-hand castle. Goes to the right-hand castle, Cordier, the drag flick. Great save. A flick off target that's off the rebound. I think France would be unlucky there. The drag flick being saved by the keeper. Fantastic save there by Daniel Bell. On the rebound, ball just popping loose, and Barbet Carrera just stepping into flick it and pulled it off target. You won't be happy that opportunity. It landed in his lap and he just hooked it. As England now, Dowdle gets a turn. He's going to go long. A little pressure on him, but he finds the long ball. Again, England employing some high line forwards. Turnbull now making a go in the circle. And unfortunately, the man-to-man marking here by France when the ball does go high means that every time the ball goes close to an English player, they get a bit of attention at the same time as Cordelia little pops through. That's good. Good hand skill. Just flipping over land stick as he came in too fast there. France now for the drop pass. Cordelia very good at going to fetch the ball at all parts of the field. Ball is catching England's stick there. Again, setting up Moreau as Ansel comes in quite hard there for the tackle. Tackling like a true forward. Nice and ferocious. And a clever backhand pass there. Just Moreau just not keeping control of what happened. There's Bansal now throwing the ball over the top. Chris Graham, industrious running, tucks the ball back. And just great tackle stepping in there. Looked like Senley. Arnold Senley just stepping in at the right time to intercept that ball. Cordelia again trying to find the ball through. Very clever pass. Ball hits the hand of the player on the field. I think I was call that one back. Land just losing his balance and putting his hand on the ground and the ball hitting his hand. Unusual to see that in a game of hockey. As France now go for the direct entry. Van der Klue was on top of the circle there, but I think if that ball had come straight at him, would have been a tough one to trap at that pace and control. Nonetheless, Montecao just still trying to throw it in and see what happens. France holding off yet. I'm waiting for the overhead. It's a good throw. Missed by Antoine Montecao, but I think he'll claim it as deliberate. He was going for the dummy. Ball going forward again. Cordelia just getting the ball and picking up. Really good run through going on the far side. There we got Van der Klue. Van der Klue covering the ball and the hack coming over the top. It is when you're making a tackle, you got to tackle from the ground flat, and that stick hack is coming right over the top of the ball, trying to break him down. A bit of desperation in the tackling there, and France getting their second short corner of the game. Cordelia flicked the first one from the top, straight at the keeper though. Didn't trouble Daniel Bell too much. As we line up again. Antoine Moreau on the left. Fabien Cordelia on the right. Runners on both sides as the ball gets slapped in. This is going to go to Moreau. He's going to go for the hit. I think that hit the post and moved wide. Just pulled it off target. I think he had the keeper beaten if he had hit it on target. Like Daniel Bell thought that might be coming through there. The push not straight to the trap, and so it felt like there was a bit of loss of control, and often defensive players and keepers lose a bit of focus when they think the short corner's not happening. No, I think on the replay, Bell had it all covered. He'll tell you he had it covered comfortably with his stick. No worries there. Well left, going wide. You could read it a mile away. As England going back into the midfield again. Just not linking up enough passes there as France. Every time they get it, there's a wild chase going forward. Baba Carrere finding the ball forward. A little bit of body shield there, but umpire said it's fine from Libre. Yeah, and Cheshire just putting all the pressure he can on him. Not allowed to get out. And England winning the blow. As the ball comes out, but as he has the whole game, Cordelier just running all over the place. Interesting tackle there as the ball gets taken away and Cordelier's not going to have a space to go through. Little touch ball popping loose. Everything's going loose here. 12 running in from the side. That's De Clercq. Haven't seen him yet. And De Clercq pushes it on a foot. I'm not sure about that. That looked like a clear foot to us. And I'm sitting next to the French bench and you can hear their displeasure of what happened there. France camping in this corner of the field as we nearing the end of this first half. England still holding a 1-love lead. A minute to go. More than a minute to go. The clock seems to be stuck on a minute to go. We'll check now. Sorry, 7 minutes to go. I've got the time completely wrong here. Scoreboard seems to be stuck on 56 seconds for some reason. We'll go on the timing list from YouTube. See what that says. Again, a fiery game as we expected. Top of the table clash. The result matters. France having some good circle edges. Not clean, but asking questions of England. And England putting a dapper defense up, but right in shotgun here as the ball goes in the circle again. There's going to be a flip skill to the top. All the French players in the goal mouth. Nobody holding out on the deeper D. That flip pass just beating everybody and rolling aimlessly through. A glorious chance. England a little bit frantic at the back here. Need to slow down and just keep the ball away from... They keep rushing the ball forward and they're losing it. The hit going forward again and just been lost. They just need a bit of composure now. France have rattled them in terms of getting this game going really, really fast. England do have the 1-love lead, but you don't want to be caught in a rat race as another pass goes over the baseline. Hockey, an interesting sport where a change of pace or movement can often lead to things happening, and the French just pushing the pace of the game out. Ball in the circle. De Clercq now trying to find an angle. Gets it across to Cordelier, who takes a shot, and again Daniel Bell with a fantastic save. Ball across the face. De Clercq now asking questions. And Van der Cleer as well on the field, trying to get the ball through as again the ball goes long. Again, game he played at a frantic pace. Good to see the energy on the field. And again, the ball being thrown through the fetches. France have been really good at finding that gap, throwing the ball to the fetches. They've got 2 on each side. Cordelier doing a great job, and Verrier. Libre also, Sebastian Libre. Coming back and just helping the defenders out as England turn and go back into trough ball. Nurse of the ball out the back. Sean Robertson just playing a sensible game out. Cheshire now moved into the back 4. As they're looking for options down the line. Again, England player receiving the ball with attention from a man marker. Ball being lost there. I think he might call for obstruction, but it looked like Montecarlo just lost his footing and fell over, and umpire saying no. Interfered with play. As England now get a chance on the 22, firing a ball to the edge of the circle. There's nobody there. France coming away with the ball, but they are coming away with the ball. And Cordier been fantastic in the midfield, just been dispossessed there. He left the ball behind. Looked like he had the skill pull out the bag, and he's opposite number David Dowdle. picking the ball off him. 2 number 8s having a battle in the midfield. Although to date, Fabian Cordelia really been a handful as the ball goes onto the edge of the D, and some clever shenanigans trying to put the ball through his legs to get the free hit. Ball loose now. This could be interesting. A little bit of stick check. Nothing hectic in that. I don't think Nurse will be too bemused by that. Very tiny little stick tap. Nothing affecting play. Umpire heard it though, and that's what matters. Again, Lebre just hovering on the ball, and Dowdle putting the pressure on. Montecut just playing all the way back, making sure nice and safe. Verrier with the switch ball, calling for it back. And then on the right-hand side, and again, looking for Fetcher. There goes the ball on the line to the 45. France arriving first. Just no control. But it's turned over. Now England going to go forward. Chris Graham, unfortunately, not quite linking up on the same wavelength as Reed. Reed going inside. Graham passing outside. And the ball going over the baseline. A lovely tight game of hockey, this end-to-end stuff. England with the 1-goal lead. But don't think that's going to be enough for them to just camp on that for the rest of this game. There's a lot more to come in this match, and opportunities on both sides. Has a great breakaway there. Graham in front, trying to make the turn. He's got through. He's going to hit you. He goes for the cracking shot. Fantastic spinning turn. Chris Graham. A real handful up front there, and the spinning turn and the cracking shot to the bottom left, and that just had pace on it. It was neat. And Chris Graham doubles England's score with his second to the tally. And England take a 2-level lead here in the second quarter. France just probably guilty of not converting enough chances there. But Chris Graham now 2 goals. Keeping England firmly in control of this fixture. When they have gone forward, they have looked all the value for money. You're finding opportunities. A little collision in the midfield here between Dowdle and Lebre. As they get to reset with a trough ball around the back. Little ball on the line, but and beating his man comfortably for pace. A really good run coming on the outside here. It's like Daniel Reed making big yards. And then getting stuck. He went all the way in the circle and then passed the ball out. And then the ball coming in. France looking like they're saying there was a stick check, but umpire said he's happy with the fact there was a bad tackle on the edge, right on the edge of the D, where ironically in hockey terms, you just got to be inside the D anyway. And once infringement occurs, you get a penalty corner. Good forwards know that and often go hunting penalty corners when they feel like they're in no man's land. Just get it in and get something for that as we hear the halftime hooter. Of course, we play the penalty corner out. The game doesn't stop. We get to play the penalty corner until it finishes. And so it does give a chance for England to put all their players forward. As we line up here, Nurse will be the option if he's on. The ball comes out, gets trapped. The flick goes in and it's saved off the line. Fantastic save off the line there by Verrier. Postman. I don't think Verrier even had a face mask on. As this game is now 2-love at halftime, we look forward to an exciting second half hockey. As you join us back here for the second half of this fixture between England and France. England up 2-0 in the fixture at the moment. 2 well-taken goals by Chris Graham. 2 cracking shots that he's found on target when he's found space inside the circle. But lots of hockey game backwards and forwards here. Not a dominant one-sided affair with both teams having chances. England are taking their 2 at the moment, and they'll feel confident that it's give them a head start to control this match. France now looking for a way to break this seal of theirs. France started this match top of the pool, unbeaten. England having drawn to South Africa. And as it stands now, this pool in disarray as France now get a chance. A big swing coming through that's going to hurt. He just missed the ball. Damien Declerc on the far side of the circle. Ball rolling through. Took a big swing in it and unfortunately caught more player than ball. Looks like David Dowdle that took the blow on the follow through. And from here, it definitely was a big swing. Damien Declerc having an easy chance in the start of this half, and I say easy. They're never easy when you're in front of the goals in a World Cup. But he's going to look back at that and be frustrated slightly by just missing the ball. Getting on target is probably the first priority. As you see, both teams subbing their keepers out. All the teams arriving with 2 keepers and giving them more fair play in time. Bruno Lucif on for France. And Jonathan Chappell doing some goal duty for England. Teams rolling their bench as much as possible. At this level of hockey, with the amount of hockey being played at a tournament, you want to make sure your team gets well balanced in terms of legwork going forward. There are some players, of course, who are top players who need to spend more time on the park. France have been relying quite heavily on Cordier in the middle of the field. Industrious worker. And up front, Chris Graham for England, doing a lot of work on the cross runs, keeping everybody in check and trying to find some space. Sean Robinson just keeping the ball going at the back, trying to make sure they've got some space. Long ball forward there from Declerc. As England now push forward, trying to find a circle entry. They're stuck on the side channel, yeah, which we know often doesn't lead to much. Ball coming out by France, and it's going to be nice and simple. Ball being cleared out, and just making sure the ball travels the width. As both teams now go into the tentative holding pattern to see what happens. England pressing much higher now than they did in the start of the match. Putting pressure high in the field, making sure it doesn't come through them. And there it paid off. Umpire disagreeing with me. Daniel Reid stepping in, just trying to see through the back of his stick, but must have caught the back of the stick. And the ball getting knocked far away down the field, getting players a chance to just regroup and see what's going from there. Verrier just playing the ball into his fetchers. Looking for another fetcher to come. They've been very good at throwing this ball through the link tunnels. Cordelier and co coming to fetch when they can. Long ball going forward, good overlap, but a fantastic step through there. Looked like William Nurse from England just reading the play, stepping through, intercepting. For all intents and purposes, France looked like they had an overlap there. But Nurse coming across. Going into this game in this section, William Nurse having scored 5 penalty corners for England. Top goal scorer in the section at the start of this match. As the ball rolls in the midfield there and a lot of attention being paid. Cordier is going to make this go quickly, trying to find the ball through, but nothing happening. Nicholas Bloch just playing the ball forward. Okay, a bit of confusion up front there. Van der Kloe just playing the backhand to where he thought Montecar was running, but Stefan Montecar had turned away, and again a bit of a long overhead coming through. Now the through coming, and Whaley, the captain, having a go, but a lot of attention from Cordelier, like he always does. The reverse tackle, he's got it back. Looking for options in the circle. Trying to find something. Ball drop back. Shot coming in. The ball's loose in the circle. Second shot on target. The clearance coming from a diving tackle, and I think Steve Turnbull on that shot will be a little bit upset. Didn't get more on target there. Turnbull, the ball popping loose to him just behind the P spot, and as any forward will tell you, ideal time and space to have a cracking shot. But the replacement keeper, Bruno Lucif, well up to it, making the clean save as England keep pressing on their right-hand side. And finding Verrier again, who's just been brilliant at the back, controlling the game as England now move the ball forward. Just probing. A little bit loose on the side there. Boardman couldn't reach that. He's going to have to back off now. Van der Kloe playing the ball forward. And now the overhead probably going to come through for the runner. Just a little bit ahead to clear, but you thought he had it. Nurse again, making his cross-field run and picking up the loose ball, like he has done a couple of times today, reading the play ahead of the game. And France had to reset. Nice cracking ball in the circle. It's loose. France have got this for a backhand shot. Keeper coming out to meet it. Ball gets thrown across the face of the goal. And I'm not sure actually had that shot at the end there. Ball popped loose and the backhand flick coming across the face of the goal, agonizingly close. Jonathan Chappell was off his line, so the goal mouth was empty. Again, France in a great position. If they can tap it in, oh, it's going to be a fantastic goal. The ball being tucked back. Keeper coming out, and Sebastian Lebre, I think he might have chalked this, but he's not going to complain because at the end of the day, the ball's gone over the goal line. And suddenly, France have played themselves back into this game. 2-1. Sebastian Lebre being in the right place there for the tuck back. And popping the ball into the open net. Chappell coming a bit quickly and leaving his line. Players always do that when somebody runs the baseline. There's a time when the keeper has to make the move forward and the defenders have to let the player go and start covering the goal mouth. As France have played themselves back in this game. Score 2-1 and suddenly the tails are up. Little pop ball over the top for the overhead. Didn't find a runner. I think Bansel was going to see what was going to happen. Then he makes the run forward. Now Bansel with a cross. Not sure if the ball was intended for Boydell or not, but Boydell let it go through him. But nobody behind him to collect the leftovers. Umpire calling him to come to a better place in the field. Land taking the free hit. Again, Whaley just trying to see if he can find a way through here. Too many French players to go through there. There were 3 of them waiting. And now trying to go on the counter. They give the ball cheaply back. Jonathan Cooper with some good running there. And again, Nurse just throwing long ball carefully where he wants to now. As we have another Boydell having a little circle entry. Popped the ball twice. Having the free swing at it. He's going to get the whistle for that. Must be for one of the first infringements, I think, because the ball just kept popping loose, and some people might argue he had advantage to shoot. Umpires called it back and said no. England award a penalty corner. And again, Chris. Sorry, William Nurse. If William Nurse is on the field, this is almost guaranteed to be a drag flick. He's got 5 already. Twiddling his stick. Scanning the keeper. Bruno Lucif. Ball coming out nice and clean. 2 Nurse. Nurse rolls it low. Looked like it was going for the injector. Tim Johnson, after the injection, running in, looking for the deflection. The dummy flick just been rolled over the top. Had some deception on it, so got through. As England get the re-award. And let's see if the same ensues. Again, Nurse, big flick, hits the post on the right-hand side. Nice, neat flick. Had everybody beaten. Postman outside the postman. Keeper had the wrong way. And Nurse, brilliant little drag flick. Hit the post and the ball actually ricocheted back into play. The well left ball here. France now going from one end to the other. Lebre on the far side, they're calling for a foot. He did slap it. Umpire saying it's outside the circle, not inside. No VAR in this sport, so we can't see where that was. It was close though. France now on the edge of the circle, looking for an option. And the ball going agonizing the class. Nice big through ball there, being left all the way to the far side. Ball almost given away there by William Nurse on the edge of the D. Cordier stepping through. I think William Nurse, with a bit of relief there, his heart fluttered us for a second. He tried to pass it and Cordier read him. It just happened to come off Cordelier, stick onto his own foot. But that was top of the D. And I'm sure Cordelier would not pass up the opportunity to run in and flick a ball with a 1v1 against Chapel. We're in the third quarter here. Score 2-1 to England. France scoring a comeback goal. And England just missing a penalty corner with William Nurse, their drag flicker. Hitting the upright. Had everybody beaten, just didn't go in the goal. Hit the upright and came back towards the P spot, so it was the inside of the upright, not even the outside. As England again looking for some through ball here, just getting caught up. Steve Turnbull in the midfield. As Whaley, the captain, trying to find a through ball. Chris Graham, the goal scorer, industrious up front. Still in play, and no advantage being played. The ball there being popped up. It said hit somebody on the arm. France are protesting here, asking for who lifted the ball, as somebody's now been given a green card for protesting too loudly. Not sure who it was. The question is, they were saying that the ball was lifted up by the English player. It did hit somebody on the arm, high up. And so the blow is for the ball hitting the arm. And the umpires are now having a discussion on their microphones. And the disengaged umpire saying he did not see anything from this side of the field. Can't make a call, and so the penalty corner stands. England will have a penalty corner, and again, William Nurse to a cleaning stick. Hoping for the chance to get a flick off here as the injection comes nice and strong. Good stop, good trap, and that's a fantastic bottom left drag flick. Textbook. Set him up with a high right flick first and then came back and just pulled it on the deck. Nothing fantastic. And that has pushed England's lead back out to 3-1. Nurse up in his tally again. Top goal scorer at this moment in this section of the tournament. And you can see why. His 6th penalty goal of this tournament. Nice and neat finish put away. Nothing too hectic. There's a chatting soon, yeah. In that whole melee, France were awarded a green card, which means they're going to be player short for 2 minutes of this patch. Does mean a bit more chasing, and if England can find the extra player, normally teams when the team is when the opposition are a man down, they end up pressing the extra player, trying to get the pressure on them. Pierre Verrier, the one getting the card, and the ensuing discussion that happened, but France are now going to have to push this game. They're a man down for 2 minutes. We're in the end of the third quarter, and England now with a 3-1 lead. Again, just keeping the ball away as much as possible. Good trough ball building up here. James Harris on the left-hand side. They're just throwing the ball away. And then France returning the favour. Free had been taken the wrong way. A little bit of confusion here about whose hit this actually is. Bansal thought it was his as the over gets thrown. And interestingly enough, it is thrown to a congested area, but the umpire saying the forward was there first. And so he's given the blow to Van der Kloe. Said, you got there, so let's play. We've still got about another minute to go before France return to full strength. No, I lie. They just have. Time flies in this game, and the ball gets pushed into route one. And a bit of confusion about what happened there. English player received the ball and started running and ran into a French player. And the umpire saying deliberate foul. And so France again, with Damien de Clercq being given a green card, have just gone from having a green card and recovering from that to another green card and playing another 2 minutes with a man down in this game. We see England moving the ball comfortably. They should have some space now to just keep moving the ball, not put it in trouble. Cordier is always hunting for France. But being a man down, you do feel like you're chasing a bit of air when you haven't got enough players to cover all the options. France shuffling backwards and forwards with England with 5 at the back now. Transferring the ball neatly between themselves. Harris trying to throw the over in the midfield. Captain Whaley wide open. Can he control this? Pops the ball in the circle. The ball on the backhand. Not sure what happened there, but on the ball on the backhand for Steve Turnbull, and he tried to come across to Chris Graham. But Lucif intercepting quite comfortably as the goalkeeper got in the way. And this game a little bit wide open now. Legs look a little bit tired as mistakes have been made all over the park. Expected this late in the tournament, but by the same time, need some clear heads now. Cordier taking the ball as high as he can. He's going to move it 5 yards before injecting this into the circle. Fantastic ball to the top of the D. And a skill being pulled out. A little hack coming through. Montecott had that. He thought he was going to put it in. He carries it across. And Antoine Montecott does not keep in possession there. England happy with a man up to play the deep trough ball, knowing their space. Again, Captain Whaley just moving the ball across comfortably. Really good hockey being played here, switching from side to side. Need to keep the ball moving. Don't want to hold it up in any part of the field because the longer you hold it up, it gives France a chance to regroup. Johnson giving the ball back infield. Land now going back to Harris. And Harris back to Nurse. He's got lots of space to keep the ball moving. And England doing a really good job here. The ball's a hot potato. They're handing over from player to player as much as they can as Chaka ends. We're in the third quarter. England leading France 3-1. We're looking forward to a final fast last quarter of this match. You're heading towards a goal. It's often umpires that they go. We call back, and Graham had a clear run on goal there with a 2v1 being set up. He would have backed his chances, having scored the first 2 goals with 2 cracking shots. As the ball gets thrown forward, but Johnson reading that play nicely and just stepping into the channel at the last minute to block it off. Harris on the trough ball looking out wide. As Cooper now makes the ball go down the sideline. And the captain, Whaley, just again, England need to keep control here. Quite happy to go back down the same channel. Good skill there, and inside out. Firing the ball in, and this ball could land loose. A bit of confusion amongst the French about whose ball it was. And then the player running the obstruction. Unfortunate on that incident, and Bobby Bansal hitting the ball in the goal afterwards, saying that I should have had some advantage there, but bit of confusion as the overlap happened there, and England, another PC for them. They won't be too unhappy with this, with Nurse on the field. As England only line up now with one castle. Pretty obvious what they're going to do. He went top right, first one, bottom left, leg one. Nice injection. Rolling in for the slider from the right. A diving slider from the right. Umpire call in the long corner. That might have been deliberate over the baseline, but great short corner variation there. Players running from the right-hand side for the diving deflection. Instead of drag flicking, just pushing the ball flat across the face of the goal. Common option in world hockey. Normally quite difficult to convince the drag flicker not to flick at goals. In this case, they definitely got it across there. And of course, Chris Graham was the one diving, trying to get goal scored, trying to get his hat-trick. Don't need to give any more encouragement to Chris Graham to go goal-bound. Bobby Danzel on the side. And Banzel just pulls it nicely infield. He's going to look for a big switcher. Might be a little big, but he does get it through. No, he doesn't. Try to beat 3 or 4 French players on that cross ball. Just didn't have enough pace on it. As France is popping the ball forward now, and they've got a chance here. Moreau isolated, but going to take the ball a long way anyway. Sean Robinson paying attention to him. Looking for support players, and there they come. Ball on the far side, wide open. They're just trying to find a ball across here. Monteco just taking a little bit too long. The ball took forever to get across there, and in that time, game just broke down a little bit. And the net result is England actually come away with it, but lose control at the last minute. France had a real good chance there. Moreau took the ball nicely high in the field. As England need to find a way through. Yep, sorry, England. France, if they need to get a little scoreboard pressure, scoring a goal to make the score 3-2 would help them. But so far, England with a gallant defense. Robinson with a nice backhand tackle there. Moreau driving forward, but Bobby Bansal defending at the back, and as forwards normally do when they defend at the back. A little bit loose. As the ball gets transferred again by France. Just not accurate enough, and England having a time to get someone in the way, and a fantastic ball to the baseline. Inside out pull, going to pull the trigger. Goes for the shot, and the shot definitely hits the foot of an England defender. Looked like Monteco just coming across for the shot, and they've earned themselves a penalty corner. France with their third penalty corner now of this match. Bit of a discussion ensuing here about what they're going to do. Two castles. Deflector's running from the right. Somebody on the slip flick. All the options covered yet. Ball comes out of the second castle. Looks like it's going to be hit. A great hit that hits the post and comes back and hits Robinson on the foot. The first half there was a short corner hit like that. It was stayed on the line. This one beating everybody. Unfortunately, hitting the post and ricocheting back onto Robertson's foot for the rear ward. So France get to retake this one. Looked like Bloch hit that one. He's going to hit it again. Lines it up. Just miscues it, unfortunately. Not Bloch, sorry. I'm afraid that was Van der Kloot, I think it was. So, one saved on the line from a straight shot, one in the post from the straight shot, and this one just been chalked a bit wide. As England give the ball away cheaply on the top. Cordier looking for the through ball. Great pass. Keeper coming out. Chappell coming out. Ball being hit into him. It'll be a long corner. Chappell not afraid of leaving his line to come and put some pressure on the attacking forward. You've seen him very adventurous in the goal mouth. As France just trying to throw the ball in the circle. Fantastic pickup. Again, Chappell's out. Ball pops in the air. A cracking shot at goal, but there's people in the way and they're not sure if this is going on target or not on target. I think the ruling is probably going to be that the shot was off target. England not debating the action, just simply playing on, and they've got to cover here. If they can see Banzel on the far side of the field, Dardle nice to look. Can he see it? He's going to come back. And just the breakdown play, stopping them from going forward. Dardle just couldn't get the ball through there to Bant. It was open on the far left. As England keep pushing forward now on the ball, harmlessly rolling over the baseline. Still 10 to go in this game. France need to keep their structure. Trusting their pattern player. They're going for the long ball now. It does get intercepted, but pressure being applied. Advantage being given. Banzel with the ball. A little bit of stick work. And now card being given for 2 loose tackles. Looks like Van der Kloot being given the green card. I'll give him 2 minutes off. It's the 3rd green card of the game for France, and they've had to play with 3 periods now with a man down. They didn't struggle too much last time this happened, but you end up chasing a lot of hockey ball when you got one man short on the field and the opposition know it and they keep the ball away from you. England choosing not to press here, simply hold back and say, you got to come to us. France getting a little bit rattled now with the ball going forward. Sebastian Debré carrying the ball forward, then getting a stick check. And anyway, France now trying to push for the circle entry with the ball rolling loose. Just a lack of control there. Looked like Montecard again. Trying to see from the far side of the field here. And the ball being moved in the circle. I'm not sure if they moved 5 yards, but the umpires didn't let that go. And England now have a counter. Chris Graham, the goal scorer. 2 field goals this game. Trying to play through. Whaley passing the ball forward. They've got numbers in the circle. The tuck back to Whaley. He's going to roll it. Comes into the P spot. Ball rolling loose. Maybe just too much interplay. Nobody taking the shot. Everybody trying to give it to the next person. Whaley dropping the ball to Turnbull. Turnbull trying to find Graham. Graham, ball not getting to him and the ball running the baseline. But I think Turnbull's going to... I think he maybe should have pulled the trigger there. And the play carries on here as Dardle keeps the ball live out wide. Boardman just making the play work right across to Robinson, and they've opened this game with us. They've got an extra man, so Harris can play the ball down the sideline and just make sure they keep possession. Still 7.5 minutes to go, so lots of time in this game. Johnson making a baseline run and a deft little tackle on the backhand. He really had a good run coming through there. Thought he was clear. But Nicholas Bloch just putting out his left hand. Just off the circle entry. And again, the same thing happened again. Running the ball to the baseline and across it, but this time Lassif in goal. Stretched hand out right. And Cordelier just making a bad tackle in the midfield. Unfortunately, trying to pull the ball back, but he missed it. As now we have a counter. Not enough players on the ball here. As Van der Kloot's got 1 against 4 English defenders. They've kept everybody back for this one. Not going to be caught on the back foot As England, they just keep sending attacks forward with a couple of players, but they're now into the pattern where 4 or 5 players are holding back to make sure they've got the back door closed. As again, France go for a big cross and Dardel trips on the ball. Van der Kloe's going to take it across and he's going to crack this backhand straight into Chappell's chest. Good advantage play there. Just didn't have a free-ranging tomahawk shot. Definitely a young man's skill, the tomahawk. As the ball rolls harmlessly over the baseline. France looking a little bit tired now. They've run themselves hard this match. Chased a lot of ball. The bench rolling left, right, and centre here on both sides. As now England push forward. Trying to find some space up front. Daniel Reid just going for the safe option and popping the ball back. Nice and neat. And the umpire blown for the push and no advantage. England won't be too upset at this time of the game, but in other days they would have preferred to have taken the advantage and played that game. Ball come back to Dardel, lands right next to him, but he's going to go for the long ball to Boardman. Boardman going for the 45 infield. Nice, neat 1-2 play there. Reed's just giving it back to him. They are playing to keep the ball. As Dardel now goes all the way back. Robinson to Dardel. They're going to keep this ball moving. Still 5 minutes to go, but they realize France have to chase this game and come and fetch it. And the more they can keep the ball away. Robinson now looking for the fetcher. He does get it in. Just gets turned over now. Verrier is going to go through and a nice little neat ball out to the left. Edigo just not getting the ball across, and anybody from France in the top of the circle. A little bit of a loose pass. They had all the chance. They did all the work. Focused on the turnover, but again, England, especially Dardel there, just playing the game, but you can see an element of the time wasting happening now. Just keep the ball away. Don't be too risky. Let France do all the work. O'Reilly on the far side, letting the long ball go. It's going to be a big chase out on the side there for Nicholas Jacob. Haven't seen much of him in this game. As France now move the ball around the back and have to ask the questions. England is holding the grid in the middle of the field. Making sure it's nice and safe. Moreau running with the ball. He's got a lot of attention paid on him by Turnbull. Verrier just making sure the clean ball out to Arno Sendless, and now the ball back in field. Just not completing their passes. It's going to be a turnaround. Turnbull's going to have some time on the ball now. Got action on him, but quick free hit. He's got time now to make any play happen. The back tackle happening there from Lebray. Turnbull does not see him coming, and none of his players giving him the man on warning. Verrier just looking to see if he can find the ball through, but unfortunately England again putting people in the way. Graham just moving the ball forward again, being sensible, holding it. Boydell, neat little throw over the top, intercepted by Verrier, and this is going to be a fantastic run here because that intercept has actually set up a real good counter. Verrier wanting the ball back. Just need some people in this D. The ball getting rolled in just inside the D. There's going to be a bit of protest here, but I think the last time the ball was just outside the circle, umpire got it right. I think he got it right here again. That ball, for all intents and purposes, looked like it just entered the D, and France been awarded their 5th PC of this match. They're 3-1 down, so with 2 minutes to go, a goal here would lead to a frantic last minute and a half of this match. Van der Kloe on the strike has got one save off the line. He hit the post on one of the other ones. We haven't seen a full-on drag flick option yet. We've had some low balls. Moreau looks interested. The ball does come out to Moreau's side, and he's going to hit it into the first wave stick. He goes on the left for the backhand. He crosses the backhand. That's a fantastic cross and finish. That looked like David Cohen, who's come on the field. The upright backhand cross. One of the lesser skills in hockey, but what a fantastic cross that came in there as Cohen simply stepped across and deflected. We've got a minute and a half now. England 3-2 up, and France have got to throw the kitchen sink in now. Just need to win the back. There's going to be chances as Whaley runs with the ball cleanly through. He's got a 1-0 with the keeper. This is going to be interesting. Keeper comes sliding. Nobody in the goal. Umpire calls for the foot. Lucif came out with a good sliding tackle. Ball popped up. Not sure whose foot it came off. But England had the counter there. Did the right thing. When you're winning a game 3-2, don't go hide in the corner. You can often make bad mistakes. That ball gets popped through. 1-1 of the keeper. And as the ball was tucked infield, looked like Boydell, who ran to the ball there, just tucked the ball infield. And he tucked it infield, caught French player's foot. And with 38 seconds on the clock, I don't think England are going to rush this. They don't have Nurse on the field, and the ball comes back. They're going to play the ball outside rather than play for time. Old school hockey this. 26 seconds, didn't even go for the shot, just simply went to the far corner. They've won the ball back, ironically. Can they tuck this back? Nicholas Jacob. And the ball does pop loose. It's in the D, and I think Matt Boardman might have had a chance to shoot there, but opted to go for the short corner with 7 seconds left, and that'll just finish the game off. But I think if Boardman had a tomahawk on him, he would have rolled around that one, taken the shot. But defenders, naturally cautious people, as England are going to win this game and put themselves right up on top of the table. This is now going to be an open pool. Lots of discussion going on here, but I think that definitely was a penalty corner off the foot. There might have been questions about things before that, but England coming through this match. Matt Boardman may be saying, I deserve a drag flick now. No variations, please. Let me just get this on target. He might even hit it. Nurse off the field. And we're giving full marks to Boardman for looking like he wants to get some earnest flick on this. Ball comes out, gets trapped. He steps up for the flick. He goes it low. Ball gets on the rebound. Another rebound. Player gets pushed off the ball. Might have been looking for a P flick if that's the case. But the game's 3-2, and so I think the disengaged umpire is going to be asking the same question. Says if he's pushed it, this could be a P flick. France are not so happy about this, but they're lucky they don't get a P flick against them because there was a push happening definitely there. England looking around now. Said to Boardman, you've had your chance, you didn't score, let somebody else have a chance. He's pushing everybody out over the sides, yep. This could be interesting to see what variation they come with at the end. Nothing to play in the match now. Simply get this ball goal bound. Ball comes in trapped. He loses the possession. Ball does get rolled in and rolls agonizingly across the open goal. I think Land might be unhappy that the ball was not in front of him. He saw it trickle past him and he had his stick on the wrong side. This game ends. England winning 3-2, taking top of the pool. Fantastic game of hockey.
That waiting for the gun, the nerves are just too much, thinking about what is about to go down.
And there goes the horn to start the race.
No, I think it's really amazing. And now the whole setup and people are dressed up.
We're giving something, I think, to the people that's just fantastic.
The support on the side of the road is second to none, and that gives you the extra oomph.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. The scenery is beyond what I could imagine. I seriously enjoyed it. I met so many wonderful people on the way.
Really enjoying Cape Town. People seem to really appreciate artwork here, which is really nice.
Come and visit Cape Town. We are waiting for you with open arms. We welcome you here. This will remain a city of hope and opportunity for everyone, not just in Cape Town, but around the country and the world.
And he takes the tape.
Cape Town is open, safe and ready to host you.